WebScripto, we've started a new video channel in order to interact with our clients on a regular basis and to give tips and advice and just have general discussions about website design as well as marketing, which is also a big part of WebScripto's business. Now, as this is the first video recording that we are doing today, we're going to address the questions that we get asked most often when people need a website. So we're going to start at the beginning. Before you get a website, you need to get a quotation. Now, this is actually a pitfall, although it may seem straightforward. But we have found that a number of people who visit WebScripto or contact us has actually had bad dealings with web designers who have quoted them a specific amount and they ended up paying double, even twice the price that they were quoted. So we thought it good to discuss with you today some of the issues that you need to take into consideration, something that you need to consider prior to getting a quotation, what you need to do to prepare, because this is going to be your website. You need to understand exactly what's going to happen in that website. And only if you reach a point where you understand what you exactly need, a quotation will make sense to you. So we're going to have a look shortly at the different questions that you need to ask yourself before you even ask anybody else to assist you. So we will see you shortly. Right, what is the first thing that we will need to have a website? So today we are looking at the first question that you need to ask yourself and understand before you request a quotation. What is the first thing that we need? We need a hosting server and we need a domain name. Now, a domain name is very straightforward. It's the name of your website. So if your website is going to be Acme, the name of your website, we will have to make something like www.acme.org.za or .co.za or perhaps .com. Now that is a name that your website will be recognized by every visitor who would like to visit your website. So it's important that you have that in mind already, that you've done some research, and we will assist you to see whether that domain name is available. Now obviously with domain names, they will have different prices. If you get a .com domain, which is a top level domain, internationally, you're going to pay more than you're going to pay for a top level South African domain, such as co.za or .org.za. What you need to remember is that you need to consider that and have it in mind already. A name for your website before you even start looking at anything else. Right, next we need to consider a hosting server. Actually, that is very straightforward, although people tend to misunderstand it and are afraid to discuss that. Actually, most of our clients, which are in the medium to small business sphere, they make use of a Linux shared server. Now, what we need to concentrate on here is a shared server. It can either be a Linux system or it can be a Windows system, but that is for a different discussion altogether. Now, the first one, and one that we most probably will advise you to get, is a shared server. That simply means your website is placed on a server where there are other websites hosted as well. So you may find that there are 10 websites on one specific server and yours is one of those 10. Now the benefit from this is that it is very cost effective. So that is most probably what we will consider. If you have a massive website and you need more resources than a shared server, we can look at cloud hosting. Cloud hosting is simply a company will put your website on different hosts or servers around the world. So you are making, when a visitor visits your website's resources are being provided from various areas which make your website quicker and give you access to more resources immediately. And then lastly, one that we do not often recommend, but there is a place for it, is a dedicated server. A dedicated server is simply a server that is yours and will only host your website. So nobody else will compete for resources on that specific server. As you can imagine, it is quite pricey. but there is definitely a place for that as well. We will look into these different type of hosting service at a later time, but for now it's important to consider that you will have to make a decision on a hosting server as well. See you next time. Bye bye. Next, we're going to have a look at the impact that website content may have on a quotation. Now, every website needs content. It's in the form of written text, audio clips, video clips, or images. Now, images and written content is mostly used in websites. Now, it's important for you to understand upfront whether you will be in a position to furnish quality video, audio, or images, and whether you will be in a position to furnish the text, because that will have an influence on the quotation. Once a company needs to provide you with that or source those resources, it's definitely going to have an impact on the actual price at the end. Thanks. Right, we are proceeding quite well. Next on the list that you need to consider is going to be what type of function your website is going to need. So you need to understand what is it that your website needs to do. Is it going to be a place that show off your products? Is it a place that visitors come and see what you may want to sell? Is it something where you need your clients to interact with you directly or via the website? So these functions that we are going to have to look at very quickly may have an impact on the price of your website. Now, if you would like web forms to be added to your website, it will most probably have an impact on the price, because extra development need to go into creating that web form. If you would like a system where people can register as members, that is going to be additional coding that needs to be done, and it's obviously going to be more costly than a normal website where you only display your products or services. So these are the type of things that you need to understand and make the person that you are requesting a quotation from aware of. What we have seen that has happened in the past, unfortunately it does happen, is that the person say, now it's a normal 5-page website. But when you start working, then you find out, no, there are more to this website than met the eye initially. The person actually wants to integrate some sort of software with their website, and then they do not understand where the extra cost is coming from. So if you are prepared, you understand what your website's needs and functions will be, this will also assist you, and it will help you to not end up in a situation where you have to pay more than you actually expected to pay. Thanks for watching.